predicting awards for the NBA is incredibly tough because it feels like there's like 30 people that could win each award. 30 might be a little bit of an overkill, but there feels like there could be like 5 or 10 people that could win each award. Like MVP, like it feels like there's 8 MVP candidates every year. Also, I put a hat on. My hair looks crazy. But every year, nonetheless, I like to try and predict the people that I think are going to win the awards. I gave top threes to everything because only one person can win the award. There's a top 3 every year. So my top 3 for each award. And my most improved player, I feel like, is the hardest to gauge because it's supposed to be a player that just kind of comes out of nowhere and really surprises the viewers and the teams and has a really good impact. So my first most improved player is, so we're going to go 3, 2, 1. So 1 is the person I think is going to win. So the person I have coming in third place is Issac Okoro. Issac Okoro is the make or break this year because he gets so many open shots and he just doesn't make them. So this is Issac Okoro's year to kind of prove, hey, I can be the offensive threat because we know the defense is there. It's just a matter of if he can shoot and if he can really score the basketball, or is he going to be a Matisse Thybulle? Which there's nothing wrong with Matisse Thybulle. I love Matisse Thybulle. But if he's able to develop that offensive game, then I think he can really win the most improved because of how good his defense is. At number 2, I have RJ Barrett. Now, I am the biggest RJ Barrett supporter, like, on YouTube, I swear. The one flaw with RJ Barrett is that he gets to the rim so easily, but he doesn't make them. He's very below average making the shots that he creates at the rim. He's like top 5 percentile in the league at making shots at the rim and like bottom 5 percentile at making them, which there's an issue there. But I genuinely believe RJ Barrett's going to figure it out and will take that next step as to making the shots and getting those extra, what feels like it'd be extra 10 points per game if he's just able to finish at the rim. And then my winner for most improved player, Marvin Bagley. I think Marvin Bagley is Marvin Bagley is a good NBA player. His injury history and work ethic is kind of the concern, but he was really good in Detroit. And with Cade Cunningham, who I am so high on, I think Cade Cunningham is going to make the Marvin Bagley most improved year. But also, most improved player is incredibly hard to predict. So I wouldn't be surprised if none of these 3 players are anywhere close to winning the award. But Marvin Bagley, I think, can average an extra 8 points per game. And I think the defense can be there if he wants it to be. So Marvin Bagley, most improved player winner, is my pick. For Rookie of the Year, I think it's pretty obvious the winner. So I'm going to go 3, Jaden Ivey. I mean, Jaden Ivey's going to be playing next to Cade Cunningham again. So there's going to be a lot of opportunities for him to create on and off the ball. And off the ball, he's a pretty good shooter. Now, is that going to translate to the NBA 3? We're going to see. But he projects to be a really good shooter. And he's going to have the highlights, which is going to have the media, which is going to have fans, which is everyone's just going to be talking about Jaden Ivey because of the dunks and just, the kind of play style that he has. Number 2, I have Keegan Murray. Now, I think Keegan Murray is like the second most NBA ready player behind number 1. And I think he's just going to come in the league and really help the Sacramento Kings. He's going to average like 18 to 20 points per game. And he's going to be the starting power forward out there in Sacramento, and he's going to get a lot of opportunity with Domantas Sabonis and De'Aaron Fox on his side, and then he's going to have shooters like Kevin Huerter, Malik Monk. He's going to have shooters around him, and he himself is able to shoot the 3 ball. And then winning Rookie of the Year is pretty simple to me. I think it's going to be Paolo Banchero. He's going to have the most opportunity, and he was the number 1 overall pick, and I feel like that really helps when you want to win the award. He's going to average the most points. He's going to be he is the most NBA ready player. We saw what he was doing in Summer League. He was making those guys look like children around him. So I think it's pretty much his award to lose. 6th Man of the Year is another really hard one because I have trouble projecting who I think teams are going to start. Because like Tyler Hero. I think they're going to start Tyler Hero, but I wouldn't be surprised if they don't because Pat Riley has been very vocal on he has to win the starting spot. They're just not going to give it to him. So if Tyler Hero's coming off the bench this year, then I feel like he's going to win 6th Man of the Year. But I feel like he's going to start. So I just don't know. With that being said, Norman Powell is coming in third. I think the Clippers are going to be so good, and I think Norman Powell could average 18 to 20 coming off a bench. Probably more like 16 to 18. But on good efficiency, as a great scorer. I mean, he was doing unbelievable things there in Portland, and then he came into the Clippers and got hurt. But I think coming off the bench next year healthy is going to be really good for him. At number 2, I have Malcolm Brogdon, not Keegan Murray. Malcolm Brogdon coming in second. He is going to start as the backup point guard out there in Boston. And now, if you know Boston, you know that their point guard position is a little lacking with Marcus Smart, who's really good, but I think he's more of a 2-guard. So him coming off the bench he's going to be coming off the bench, but he's going to be the starter, if that makes sense. He's going to be playing starting minutes. And I don't think his scoring is necessarily going to be like out of this world good, but I think he's going to do a lot of things that are going to help the team win. I think he can average 15 points a game with like 8 assists and shoot the ball super efficiently. I mean, he's one of the few people in the league that have a 50-40-90 season, and I think he can keep doing that off the bench. And then winning the award, I think it's pretty simple. I think it's going to be Jordan Poole. I mean, Jordan Poole is going to average 20 to 22 on, okay efficiency. And he's going to be super flashy, and the Warriors are going to be good. Jordan Poole, 6th man of the year. Pretty simple. Defensive Player of the Year. Now, the Defensive Player of the Year is one of the awards where I feel like 8 people can win it. I mean, Draymond, Ben Simmons, Jrue Holiday, Marcus Smart, Rudy Gobert, Bam Adebayo, Jimmy Butler. That's 7 right there in like 5 seconds. So at number 3, I have Ben Simmons. I have Ben Simmons coming back to the Brooklyn Nets and being that defensive anchor that they needed in the playoffs last year and then just didn't get. So Ben Simmons at 3, he's going to guard 1 through 5 if he needs to. And he's going to be the guy on that team that is looked to make the defensive stops, to guard the other team's best player night in and night out. At number 2, I have Jrue Holiday. So Marcus Smart won the award last year, and I feel like Jrue Holiday is just overall a better defender than Marcus Smart. And, the Bucks are going to be good, so him and Giannis are going to be, like, interchangeable here for Defensive Player of the Year at 1 and 2. But I think Jrue Holiday is going to take that step of really letting everyone know how good he is defensively. Because, he had moments in the playoffs last year where he stripped Marcus Smart, and then he blocked that Marcus Smart shot. So everyone's kind of keying in on how good of a defender Jrue Holiday is. Because I feel like the casual fan knows Jrue Holiday is a good defender. I just feel like they don't know how good he is. I feel like this is the year he's going to really show that he is like a top 5 defensive player of the year, and year in and year out. And number 1, I have Bam Adebayo. He is the defense there. In Miami, him and Jimmy. You saw how they played defense against like the Hawks last year and taking the Celtics to 7 games, which is, still impressive. And if Jimmy Butler, makes that 3, we do have a different championship. Actually, I don't know, because they still have time on the clock, and Jason Tatum's really good. But I feel like Bam is super versatile, can guard 3 to 5 and defend and kind of lock up that opponent. And with PJ Tucker out of there, I think Bam is going to have more of a role defensively of guarding the other team's best player sometimes. Maybe PJ Tucker would take that role on other nights. But I feel like it's going to be Bam and Jimmy Butler doing that night in and night out. And I feel like it's going to be Bam's award come, where do they give these awards out? Like June? Come June? I feel like come June, it'll be Bam holding Defensive Player of the Year trophy. And then finally, MVP, the most anticipated award. At number 3, I have Trae Young. Trae Young could genuinely average 34 this season, and I don't think anyone would really bat an eye, but they still know that Trae Young is a great player. And I think the addition of DeJounte Murray really is going to help them because he's able to take some of that playmaking stress off of Trae Young, which will allow Trae Young to kind of attack more. Trae Young won't be double teamed on every possession. How about we say that? Because they have DeJounte Murray there. But I think the key to unlocking Trae Young's game is him moving off ball. Because if you look at the stats, he doesn't move off ball. He passes and he just kind of stays. Which, he's a good enough shooter to the point where it's not like the end of the world because you have to have a guy looking at him at all times. But it would be better if he kind of took the Steph Curry approach. He was running off screens and stuff. Because I think he could average, 35 if he did that pretty simply because of how good of a shooter he is. At number 2 is Giannis. I feel like Giannis is going to be here at like 1 through 3 every year until he retires or until he makes that dramatic fall off. I mean, what do I have to say about Giannis? He's going to average 30, 10, and 5 probably. He's going to be the best player in the league, which he is. And the Bucks are going to be like the 1 or 2 seed if everyone stays healthy. There's not really much to say about Giannis. We all know what Giannis is. And then the MVP winner of the year is going to be Luka Doncic. I'm nothing biased here. No biases here. But I feel like the league looked at what Luka did in the playoffs last year, and Luka coming in healthy and in shape this year, and with a big man running mate in Christian Wood, and a new center in JaVale McGee, who will be a great addition, who is a great addition to this team. I feel like Luka is going to average 35, 10, and 8 probably. He's going to put up like genuinely historic numbers, and the Mavericks have a pretty average roster if you take away Luka. But Luka Doncic has that effect of making an average roster look like an NBA championship level roster. I don't think they're going to win the NBA championship this year. I feel like there's a very good chance that this team wins more than 50 games. Simply because of Luka Doncic. Yeah, 35, 10, and 8 with a good team. And you have the narrative of being Luka Doncic. I feel like it's his MVP to lose. And I feel like this is the first of many for him. I feel like he is going to have at least 3 in his career. And we are getting the first one right here. Yeah, thank you guys for watching. I didn't do Coach of the Year or Executive of the Year. I genuinely just don't care. I mean, Coach of the Year is such a flawed award. And I don't really... Who cares about Executive of the Year? I mean, if you're looking up Executive of the Year at the end of the year to give it to, like, Sean Marks or somebody, then that's on you. Thank you for watching. It's been Empty Stats, and I'll see you next time.